I got a comment and a question from one of the videos I posted, and it goes, "It's such an important discussion you brought up. The reuse of past recordings can really impact voiceover artists, and establishing clear expectations with clients is essential. How do you think artists can best advocate for their rights in these?" Good question. Simply put, how do we ask clients to pay us after delivering our recordings? There are absolutely many ways to get clients to pay. Simultaneously, clients have a way of finding loopholes in order to delay, or worse, avoid paying altogether. So in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you my method that gets the best results as much as possible. Of course, there are still those kinds of clients, but at least I've kept it to a minimum over the years. Let's get started. The first step is knowing what kind of client you're dealing with. Type number one is the new client. A new client will say what kind of voice talent they need, what the project is, whether it's a commercial, event hosting, when the recording session will be, and such. For these kinds of clients, I reach out inquiring more details about the project. I ask them about the script, the budget, and so on and so forth. When it comes to the payment terms, I tell them up front that since it will be our first collaboration together, I require 50% payment up front. If I feel like I can trust the client, or if I feel that the client is good enough, I waive it altogether. If I'm hesitant, I ask for 100% payment and see if they can gain my trust by complying. The second kind of client is the experienced one. An experienced client will go into full detail with the project. Like, they're going to ask what kind of voice talent they're looking for, male, female, a natural English speaker, if they can do an authoritative delivery, if they can do character voices, and so on and so forth. Whether the recording is in studio, a live directed session with the client, remote recording with the proper recording specs. If the client has a lockout, the number of revisions is mentioned, and so on, etc. You get the picture. These are my kinds of clients because I know they're professionals. I'm confident that they're trustworthy and that they will pay regardless if it's my first time with them or not. Though it's about 90% sure, with the 10% sometimes going awry. The third kind of client are the ones with the red flags. With the clients I deem as red flags, they're the type who give very few details about the casting call, like male or female voice wanted for commercial needed. That's it. If ever I find them to be legitimate clients after a thorough inspection, I still require 100% payment upfront before voicing, just to be sure. Now that I know what client I'm dealing with, I can figure out my approach for collection. For the new clients who I asked 50% payment from, unless they gave me 100%, I can either ask them to pay the remaining 50% before I email the recording, or I can just ask them when I expect the other half to arrive. It's risky, especially for first-time clients, but it's part of the trade. For the experienced clients, well, I'm pretty confident that they'll be paying me, especially if these are advertising agencies or production studios repping popular brands, if they're big name companies, or the private clients who just have a big budget for their marketing campaigns. If ever I did proceed with the red flag client, who turned out to be okay after all, I wouldn't be worrying about collecting, as I would have asked for 100% full payment before taking on the project. After all said and done, this game of service and payment comes down to trust. The trust that you and the client will build as you collaborate with this project. If you're new to this dynamic of asking for payment for a service that you've provided, expect that you'll get the raw deal to a lot of these payment exchanges, especially since you'll be afraid to ask or follow up on payment. But as you get used to it, you'll progress from the shy type to the sarcastic and vengeful and unprofessional type, and finally graduate with a stern and professional demeanor of asking for the payment. Your bill, sir. So that's my method. If you have a 100% airtight way of getting paid from your freelance work, doesn't have to be voiceover, let me know in the comments section, as I'd like to know your secret sauce, which I'd love to learn.